Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. So today is going to be my review on the Spider Farmer SF300 LED grow light. So you can see the grow light there positioned above two propagator trays. So here's a quick look at the Spider Farmer SF300 LED grow light. So I've had this installed now for a few weeks. So I can only give you a basic review of this grow light because I haven't used it for long enough. So in this first propagator here, which is heated and controlled by a thermostat, which I'm regulating the temperature between 25 or 26 degrees. These are my cactus seedlings. Now they're still seedlings. They are quite small, but I have had them, many of them, for over 2 years. So we have to remember they've only been under here for a few weeks, so I'm not going to see massive change in my plants. So I can only comment on changes that I've seen so far. So next to it here, we've got another propagator. So in here, we've got Jack's cactus seedlings at the back, which I did 2 videos showing the sowing of those seeds. So they were from Wilko and a batch of seed was from Poundland. And then he also wanted to sow some winter peas. So obviously you can see how well they've grown there, but we will discuss those in a minute. And then just completely changing now, I'm in my living room and I'm in the process of cleaning and sorting this shelf out, but I've had to move this tomato plant in here because it's getting too tall and it's even now starting to touch the grow lights here. So this really does need to be separated out into different pots because I think it's just not going to grow much more until I separate them. So that's our next job. But that has done quite well under the SF300 Spider Farmer light. It's just the plant was starting to touch the light. And in here I've got more headroom space. So this was just temporary, just to move it out of the way. But this one, because it's a green type of plant and it's, you know, not cactus related at all, this kind of plant grows really well under the sort of light that you're getting from that Spider Farmer LED. So you can see now how lush this growth was beginning to get under the Spider Farmer light. Really has gone nice and green. I've only fed this plant once, but yeah, it's done really well. So it really does need separating now, because you can see the lower leaves, they're starting to deteriorate, but I think once they're separated, they'll be fine. So here we are back in the kitchen, and you can just see on that label there, we sowed Jack's winter peas on the 6th of October. So it's been a few weeks and they've got really good growth on them. So you can see how tall that one is at the back in relation to my hand. So they're doing really well, and the Coco Coir mix that we've been using has done a really good job of staying nice and moist. It's only needed watering a few times. So once these start to get a bit taller, I'll start to wind them round trellis, because it does say they grow to about 50 centimetres tall, and obviously that's going to surpass the height that I've got here under the grow lights. So they're going to need some sort of trellis. But these were just something to do for fun for Jack, really. So I don't know if they're actually going to grow any peas on them, but it'll be funny if they do. So we're going to take a look at Jack's cactus seedlings. So they have done really well under this Spider Farmer SF300 grow light. So these were a packet of seeds that we got from Poundland. So I've been recently taking off this lid, so I've been undoing it because, as you can see, they've got plenty of moisture. But they're fine now to introduce to the natural air, because they do have the propagator lid tray containing the environment to be humid for them, which is what cactus seedlings require. But you can see they've done really well. So this is a 5.5 centimetre pot. But what we now need to do is go in there and rearrange them and replant them a bit, because Jack was sowing them for fun more than anything. They do need to be rearranged because you can see they're starting to fall over and everything like that. So we just need to put those back in and put some gravel around them to support them. But you can see they have their spines and the colour has remained green, which means they're receiving adequate light levels because they are cactus seedlings. They don't want to be having too intense light on them. So this is the Spider Farmer SF300. So this is the less intense light. Okay, so these are the seed kit we got from Wilko. So on the right hand side there we have the clumping cactus. Then we have the saguaro cactus in the middle and golden barrel at the end. So let's undo this packet to look at them more closely. So these are the clumping cactus seedlings. Didn't provide a name when we bought them, so I'm not really sure what these are going to turn out like. But you can see now they have their spines and the main body of the cactus growing, and they are very green. Moving on to the giant western or the saguaro cactus. These are looking fantastic. And now you can see the main head of the cactus and the beautiful spines forming. So you can see the cotyledon leaves, those pointy triangular shaped green bits. That's what first appears as they germinate. And as I mentioned, they've now developed their main head and their spines. And they are beautiful and green. So they are receiving adequate light. So these ones are the golden barrel. So these are looking nice and green. Slight bit of mould developing on the surface. We do have one that's led down. So we'll need to go into these and rearrange them, because Jack did sow them and it was just really for fun. But because they're doing so well, we'll just need to take a bit more care of them now. So we've got really good germination rates with them all. So you can see all of them together there, and they're really nice and green. So the Spider Farmer SF300 has been excellent for maintaining the correct light levels for cactus seedlings, especially from when you've just sown them from seed and they've just started to germinate and grow. They've done really well. They've fattened up as well. So basically, because I've only been under this light for a very short time, I can't really give the most greatest of reviews, but based on what I've seen so far, a few weeks ago we put these seeds in and now look at them. So it's a fantastic light, I think, for doing your salads and leafy greens or chili peppers and things like that on your sideboard or in the home, getting things growing, and very leafy plants, indoor house plants especially. And it's been really good for these cactus seedlings. So let's take a look at my older cactus seedlings and see what changes we've seen, if any. Okay, so here we are. I've took the lid off, and in fact I just had a quick scan on some of the original plant labels, and there are a few in here that are actually about 3 years old. So they are a bit older than most cactus seedlings, but because I've had them under various lights over the years, they've just not been performing very great. And some of these were from when I'd only just started to even start sowing cactus seeds at all. So some of them have survived that long, but I'm going to be doing some more cactus seeds over the winter. And obviously I can only comment on these cactus seedlings that I've got here. And so there's not going to be massive change, but I have noticed some change. So I'll pick out a few examples just to show you. So we'll start off with this Astrophytum asterius. So this Astrophytum asterius is shown in a 6 centimetre pot. It was one of my recent purchases in this year of summer 2022. And it's been a little bit of a grumpy so-and-so ever since I've had it. So this was a very good candidate to put under this light. So I did do a video when I unboxed this, and it was quite wrinkly at the base of the cactus. And since I've popped it into the propagator tray, it's plumped up. It's looking rounder and fatter, and there's a lot less wrinkling at the base of the cactus now. But yeah, this has done really, really well. So it's been in a contained environment, so in the propagator, with consistent heat, being covered. So it's basically experiencing a growing period as if it's spring and summer again. So it's consistently growing now. So I think this has had the biggest change. So this is Cleistocactus winteri, and believe it or not, I've had these for about 3 years. So you can see the massive difference between this one and these ones. So this one's always been very dominating, but it's definitely showed improvements under the Spider Farmer light, I've even noticed it's grown a bit more, probably about 5 millimeters. They can be quite fast growing, but I've had these seedlings for a long time now, as I said, about 3 years. I mean, even the label's really worn away, but you can just about see I sowed them in July 2019. So this is the monkey tail cactus. So that's done really well, and they've maintained their green colour, so they've not gone red or anything like that. So it just shows you that the Spider Farmer SF300 is really good for cactus seedlings. It's not harming them, it's not too intense. So you'll notice these tubs here, all of these ones, these all have Lophophora seedlings in. So I sowed all of these just over 2 years ago, in the year 2020, and they are very, very, very tiny, and they didn't actually go under grow lights initially. They were just on a windowsill, and they were inside this bag, done up for that entire time. So I've only opened them specifically for this test under the grow light, and because obviously I've got the cover of the propagator and I'm watering them on a regular basis so they don't dry out. But you can see there they all have their cute little funny little spines on them, and you can see there's that one there that looks more green, so that's showed a lot more green since it's been under this light, and in fact they've all grown quite tall as well. So there's another pot there, and there are actually quite a lot in that pot, they're just very small. And then I've got a few in here. So because they are Lophophora, they are going to be quite slow growing. So they're going to take a while for them to do anything. But I have noticed they perked up a little bit, a lot, than what they were before. And they do look a bit greener. But as I say, it's only been a few weeks, so I'm not going to expect miracles. So these seedlings here, they've lost their redness and they're starting to look a bit greener. So these are Lophophora seedlings in here. They are just over 3 years old, and they had a few problems, and they've gone a sort of bit scaly looking. But you can see that one at the top there has got a tiny little baby thing growing off of it. So they've started to perk up and come back to life. So these are my Astrophytum seedlings, only 2 of them left. I think I showed them in a previous video. Not really sure if I've seen much change in them, but they're still looking healthy nonetheless, nice and green on top. So this is a 3-year-old cactus seedling, and you can see just below it there's another one just down here. So you can just see the difference it makes. They're very variable. Not all seedlings grow the same rate, but you can see that beautiful fresh green growth there. So that's had a nice boost in its growth. So there we go, that's looking beautiful. So here are my Geohintonio mexicana, and they are over 3 years old now, and 5 seedlings there. There we go. I'm trying to keep it as close as I can there, so you can see those beautiful spines. They're very white and sort of hook-like. So they've always had this kind of sort of redness to their skin, with just a slight green colour on the top part. But these are exceptionally slow growing cactus, and I was never really going to see much change in these at all. So it's taken over 3 years for them to get to this size. So I'm not going to go over all of them, but basically I have seen little subtle changes in these cactus seedlings, or older cactus seedlings. And for a few weeks, I think that's really positive. And again, for these ones here, they've been excellent here for the winter peas. So I can say that this Spider Farmer SF300 LED grow light has been fantastic so far. And I've had no problems with the light at all. It's not broken. There's been no disruption in the LED lights. Everything's working fine as it should be. So again, you can just quickly see the kind of light colour that we're getting from the grow light there. So this Spider Farmer SF300 is the less intense model. So it's going to be perfect for starting off your seeds or your salads or things like that, and perfect for indoor house leafy plants. Given a longer time, I think I'll see more improvements in this. So if you're interested in this Spider Farmer SF300, about a month ago I did an unboxing video, so you'll see all of the details and specifications on this light in that video. So there'll be a link to that in the description below this video, and I'll try and insert a link up above as well. So you'll notice here I have quite a bit of space left in that propagator, so I think I'm going to be sowing some more cactus seeds. And I keep saying it, but I'm going to be sowing more cactus seeds this autumn and winter, because I haven't sown any for quite some time, other than helping Jack to sow his cactus seedlings. So growing away in there, she's really proud of. And just to end this video, I know it's completely unrelated to the grow light review, but that is Jack's cactus that he repotted in his last video. So it's gone from that tiny pot there to this pot, and he's bought another one since. So there you go. Alright then, thanks so much for watching this video, and I just want to say again a massive thank you to Sherry at Spider Farmer for sending me the grow light, and I hope to see you next time in my next video. Okay then, bye!